Violence against women and girls is a huge challenge all around the globe. In Mexico, we experience the highest percentage of sexual violence worldwide. When we look at Mexico, for example, 2/3 of women and girls over 15 will have experienced at least one incident of sexual, physical, emotional, or economic violence in their lives. Due to the current isolation and lockdown measures, women and girls may be forced to stay close to their potentially violent partner for an unpredictable amount of time. This situation, which is also called the shadow pandemic, is intensified by small and cramped households and the lack of private spaces.
Public data from Mexico's national helpline show that since the start of the national lockdown, there has been a sharp increase in calls from women who experience domestic violence, including physical, sexual, economic, and psychological abuse. Counterparts in the Mexican federal government and the government of Mexico City have had this topic on their agendas for a long time. As an example, in November 2019, the Mexico City government declared an alert for violence against women. When GIZ Data Lab, GIZ Mexico, and the Data Pop Alliance approached them, they expressed their interest in collaborating to implement an innovative prototype aimed at improving our concrete knowledge about where women and girls may be at greater risk of experiencing violence and what the drivers of this violence may be.
Getting a better understanding can only be a first step. However, it is a crucial one. Currently, we have data available for some regions of Mexico, but not for others. During the time of the pandemic, it just wasn't possible to go about and collect more data. That's why we decided to combine available data sources of various kinds, both traditional and non-traditional data, and combine them in a novel way. We then proceeded to use sophisticated data science methods to train a model that predicts the risk of violence women and girls face, particularly for those areas of Mexico where data is still missing. Due to the highly sensitive nature of our project, a number of points had to be ensured. Firstly, the safety of women and girls was never compromised. Secondly, data protection and privacy are at the heart of what we do and were always ensured. Thirdly, we made sure that we never contributed to the stigmatization of survivors of violence in any way.
The experimental risk model project is divided into 3 phases: diagnose, mobilize, and transform. In the diagnose phase, we develop a model which is based on a set of algorithms that gain insights from different data sources. This model could help identify where women and girls are in greater danger of experiencing violence and could serve as a go-to source of information when deciding, for example, where emergency support and policy intervention may be needed. In the second phase, mobilize, we want to make use of the knowledge produced to mobilize key stakeholders looking to drive further nationwide impact. Key takeaways, results, and challenges that emerge throughout the project will be documented in a report and made available to relevant stakeholders in order to promote learning, replication, and expansion. A dedicated Council for the Orientation of Development and Ethics Code, formed by independent experts in gender and data from different organizations across sectors, has been set up. This code promotes advice and counsel for the deployment and development of the experiment, touching up on the relevance, ethics, data privacy, recommendations, and visibility considerations of the project. Finally, the third phase, transform, will come when organizations and governments leverage these model risk and project outcomes to help mitigate and prevent domestic violence in Mexico.
We are convinced that concrete action is needed right now in order to overcome the pandemic and its consequences. But also overarching issues such as the ethically correct and inclusive use of data must be pursued and promoted with increased caution and determination. We stand for technology-driven solutions, but in the right way. Jointly, we need to work on the governance challenges and the opportunities of big data, and the Paris Peace Forum is a great place to make this happen.